away.
Pardon. Hey, welcome. Excuse me. Hey, it's Gorp time. Wake up. My name's Josh. We're here. We're doing a part 2 situation. Going back through the old last season and moving forward and
The recap part 2.
Okay, well I got a list here. I got a list we could talk about. The next one we had was a conspiracy theories.
Oh, you guys wanted to do that episode so badly. The conspiracy theories episode, and I
remember that being your idea
because it's gonna get clicks, and it did get clicks. Yeah, probably was my idea. I don't know. Content above feelings is typically where I'm at.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Was Lucci on that episode?
If you guys can make me mad, no, but we got to bring him back for a conspiracy theory episode.
Yes, we do need to revisit, and we need to hit up Lucci about it. Let's see, who was on that episode?
I think it was me, you, Brooke, and Jessica, right?
Oh, me, you, Brooke, and me, and you, and Brooke, and Jessica, yeah.
But what is it? The one that pissed me off the most was the flat earther situation. And now they have I don't know if you've seen this. This is going around Instagram right now. But it's the gyroscopic camera that shows the rotation of the Earth. You saw that?
No.
Oh, they have like a camera set up, and it literally shows the Earth rotating. It's a like extremely long shot. It's really cool.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but the flat earthers are going to be like, that's fake. It's so annoying.
Yeah, I don't know how you... I just don't understand that one in particular. There's so many that are just like, you just got to be dumb, right? Like, regular people that didn't really have access to paper and pen figured out the math of the Earth being round. It's pretty simple stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember
it's literally
recently...
like part of the reason why gravity works.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. But they don't believe gravity is even what we think it is either. But I talked to Lucci in one of our more recent episodes. I think it was just me and him talking. And he got into that with the moon landing. And I almost kind of lost it because it's so provable that was real. It's so provable. And it's not even worth talking about. But I guess we have to talk about it because you don't believe we can make a rocket. It's pretty simple. It's like one of our favorite things to do as a race. A human race.
or the first one. Or just stick to the first one.
Or the first one. Yeah, we are the ones that destroy things.
But it's our favorite thing to do. It is our... I saw Oppenheimer. It's our favorite thing to do.
Let's blow it up.
Yeah. We see something beautiful and go, how can I kill that?
Yup. Next up, we had taking a sick day. That's when I had the COVID pretty dang bad, and everyone else was sick, so it was just me and you. I think I had like 102-degree fever during that episode.
Yeah, it was the Josh interview episode where you were snotting all over your console. That's about all the audience needs to know about that one.
It was bad. Like, don't even bother. It's just hard to watch, hard to listen to. And like I said, I had 102. I had a cough that it was just really difficult to keep down. And because of COVID, I actually had that cough for about 3 months. It wouldn't go away. It was bad.
Yeah,
we tried our best. It was just trying to get that content out. Maybe
like I said,
pump it out.
Content over feelings.
We went on to family, had a family episode with Jess and Brooke. That was a rare, the two of them being in the same room. That was good. And I don't remember particularly anything great about that episode, do you?
I don't remember that episode in any way, to be honest. I wish I did remember that episode because I'm sure we got deep in some areas, but maybe I compartmentalized that out.
Talking about families touchy. I'm sure we didn't really get too deep into anything because we don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, because I'm pretty sure our family is half of our audience.
They're a large part. They're probably a large part.
Yeah, so we had the family talk, and then we had the nuts in the bag. And that was your idea to just get to know everyone in particular on the show. And I was the first to get interviewed, get to know you situation. Yeah, whatever. If you want to know more about me, check that one out. Who cares?
I think that's a good series, though. And I think people should check it out because it's going to build more of a rapport with the people that are inside your head.
Yes. Then we have the resolutions episode. It was a little late in the new year, but we're still doing it, talking about our resolutions and how dumb they are, but also how self-care is important, and that's just part of resolutions and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, there's always multiple angles to that. I'm not a big resolutioner because I'm not 12, but there's still people out there that still really lean on these resolutions, the out with the old, in with the new. I like it because it gives people goals, and if it's something that drives you, I don't want to crap on it. It's just not for me
Mm-hmm.
anymore. I have to find different ways to motivate.
Yeah, not because it was the January 1st, so that's what we say we're going to do. But,
Yeah.
in the end, there's always like, it's never too late to do it right now, that kind of thing. And as an update to that episode, I'm proud to announce that like I'm nicotine free for like the past almost 3 weeks. Haven't been drinking. I've been really tight on my diet. I've been exercising more. I haven't bit my nails all year. I've actually made some big resolution-based turnarounds, and it's like the best thing that I've ever done for myself, honestly. So that's a pretty cool little update. Feeling good.
Look, just because I'm proud of you, don't mean you're getting a trophy.
These kids these days want a damn trophy. Resolutions. And then we talked about Gorp versus nature. I think it was just nature in general and how they destroy your houses, tornadoes versus earthquakes. Yeah.
Yeah, because Jess's house got flooded.
That's
Like
right.
her bottom floor got flooded, and then it ended up being like this huge pipe burst in her house.
Yep.
So it wasn't just from all the rain and snow. Like it literally destroyed her home, and she had to get like the whole cement flooring of her basement ripped out. Like it was a miserable project for her.
Yep. It's like building a sandcastle in the tide. Like something's going to happen eventually. There's just nothing you can do. Nature sucks, even though it's so beautiful. We also talked about that, like walking in the forest and stuff.
Yeah. Didn't you have like a tornado story too? I thought you had like a tornado story in that episode.
Yeah. A tornado came within like 25 yards of the house that I was in, and it ripped a giant old tree out of the yard, but the house was untouched. Yeah, tornadoes been around my whole life, like Louisiana when I was a kid. I'm not scared of them, but I think that's where my non-fear of death came from, because as a kid, there was so many times it was like, okay, we might die today. So I became accustomed to like, okay, well, if it's today, it's today. Like I'm tired of being scared of dying.
Yeah, like my fear of death, I think, went away when I realized overall lived a pretty cool life. I met a lot of cool people. I've been to a lot of cool places.
We're good.
So if it happens, it happens. Yep. But I finally stabilized where I'm not like unhappy. If that makes sense.
For sure. And I go through that. I have that thought process every time I get on a plane. Like it's not like I'm scared of flying, but it's I could die on this plane today, so I just have a quick little. Yeah, I had a good life. This is nice. Anyway.
I thought you were going to say, so I have a quick little cry. Just a quick cry.
Just a little poop. Just a little poop.
But you're the person like in the, because you like the window seat. So you're the person like closest to the window, and I've got you just having a little cry, and you're like,
and like, I have been that guy. I have been that guy.
Wait,
but I was crying.
You, like, terrified because like, what does he know?
Why is this dude crying? What does he know? He's not real. Yeah. So actually, I have had that. I was a young kid, like probably preteen or so, and I was flying away from my mom to go to live with my dad or stay with my dad for a while. And I was just emotional because I was leaving my mom. I was a kid, and I was crying like the first half hour of the plane ride, and then I cried myself to sleep. And I woke up later, and the poor woman who was next to me was not there when I woke up. So I was just crying like a little kid.
Can't say that.
I was being very pusillanimous. How's that? Anyway, that's my crying story about planes. We Gorp versus nature. And then we talked about love. Love was a good episode, actually. Got a little deeper than I wanted, but it was actually lighter than it could have been. It was good. It was a good episode. Talking about love. We can always revisit that because love is such a heck of a thing. That was the title.
Let me ask you let me ask you a question in regards to that episode. You said probably got a little too close or a little too touchy. I can't remember your verbiage you just said a few seconds ago, but
got a little deep.
Got a little too deep for your liking. Do you ever feel like maybe we don't go deep enough? Like maybe we're being too careful with each other to where maybe we should press on those emotions a little bit more?
Oh, absolutely. And there's a episode, I forgot which one it was, coming up where it was me, you, and Brooke, and we did get pretty deep with that one. Actually, Brooke had a little cry about it. In a good way, a healthy cry. And so I like it when that happens.
It was like 2 episodes in a row. I want to say she had a pets episode. The pets episode got her emotional in a good way. And I think it was an episode directly following that, if I'm not mistaken.
Up pretty quick. It was the questions and answers episode where we did get a little deep. We asked some personal questions and like when do we become friends and why are you my friend and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. That was pretty good. And then love. Yeah, I think you're right though. Sometimes we keep it light and that gets us to not really hit the topic fully. We don't get all the way in there because we're just trying to keep it light most of the time. I'm welcome to both swings of the pendulum, you know.
We got to figure it out because we need your guys' participation, audience. We need your comments, and we need to know what you want to hear and where we don't go far enough and where we went too far, so we can gauge you. You're our barometer. We're trying to make interesting content, and if you could just let us know, like
no Seinfeld
just
joke.
let us know. We're gonna do better.
Yeah, we're gonna do better. You know, it's true. Love, and then we went all the way over the fence, and we did the wide world of woo woo. This was one that was very foreign to you, and we're just talking about. I've never heard the term woo woo, but I guess woo woo is just like all that artsy, holistic stuff, crystals. Yoga, Ayurveda stuff.
You wanted to rhyme so bad. You wanted to rhyme so bad, and you pulled up.
Yeah, I tried. I pulled up.
You were about to say artsy fartsy.
Almost did the fartsy. Just a little. But you know what I mean? Yeah. So we did the woo woo stuff. That was fun to talk about. I think that was definitely an episode where we barely scratched the surface. So much so that we very soon after that did a tarot card episode where we did tarot readings, like turn it up a little notch there. Another episode you didn't like. Well, I thought it was a great direction.
It wasn't. Let's be careful with didn't like. I felt like it was a hard watch for our radio audience.
That's a good point.
If you're not watching on YouTube, it was very difficult to listen to because
and if you're not watching us on YouTube, make sure you
pauses where you can't see.
Make sure you get in that YouTube and do a like and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube as well. TheSadFan. Okay. Anyway.
But that was the introduction of Sadie, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Sadie, Brooke's sister.
Yeah.
Super cool lady. Very funny. She's quick. She is quick. And then we did one called Who the F is Crystal? I don't remember this. I remember us joking about that, but what was the show about?
Relationships, baby, or imaginary people. Like, I don't know, but I know I got the title. That's so funny. I probably need to refresh. I need to view it really quick on YouTube. Look at read the caption on YouTube. What does the caption say?
Yeah, let's look it up and see.
Because I will tell you, it's titled after something my wife yells at me, like
that's
randomly.
Right. Yeah.
Yell, who the bleep is Crystal?
In a crowd. To like cause a scene.
Yeah, and it's kind of me paying homage to my wife with that title.
It says Woo Woo Part 2. So I guess we just got further into woo woo stuff. I don't know who the F is Crystal.
We talk about crystals. We talk about a lot of crystals and crystal healing and having the rocks around your house.
Did some astrological signs.
Yeah.
Sadie, by the way, is very into astrological stuff. I guess down to astrology is really deep. Like it comes down to like the minute. And it comes down to the weather and
your
all that
birthday,
stuff.
Where the planets were, when the moment you were born, what the sun was doing, all that stuff.
But we went into like meditative practices and mind palaces and all kinds of woo-woo stuff. I enjoyed that. It was good. We talked about music. I think it was just our first dipping into music, which is so broad. I think we talked about other versions of that with soundtracks included. So cool. There's a music part 2, like just before, and I'm sure we barely scratched the surface there either. One of my favorite episodes, and I'm so sorry you weren't there. One of my favorite episodes. Lucci was there. I think Mark was as well. I'm not sure, but the best cereal episode. Cereal episode was so good.
Yeah, I was really mad I missed that episode.
Yeah. Boy.
Gosh. No, it was Sadie. It was Sadie, Brooke, Lucci, and Josh.
Sadie, Brooke, Lucci, and Josh. It was so good. Yeah. Lucci and Sadie have a nice little chemistry there with the snapping back and forth. Lucci's just a funny dude. He's so quick and dry. It was good to talk about the cereals. Good to talk about how old I was when I realized that I would never make money as an artist. And sugar cereals versus non, etc. That was a good one. I like that.
That was a good episode. I really enjoyed that episode. I think that episode is another one that deserves probably a part 2. I would love to be a part of it. It was great to edit because it was a lot of me laughing out loud, arguing with you guys, even though you couldn't hear me.
Yeah, a lot of that. Then we got into board games. I think that was my brother's first intro to the show. Talked about a little bit.
That was your brother.
Game-itch. Wait, where's the episode on here?
That was your brother, I think Mark. Your brother Mark and Brooke, I want to say, for board games.
Yeah, Mark and Brooke and Nick. I like to have Brooke on this, or Brooke, of course, obviously, but Mark, he's a rare treat. He works in the radio all day, so asking him to come on this show for a guest spot for free on his day off, it's just once in a while. He'll pop in once in a while. He's a funny guy. Board games was good. Barely scratched the surface once again. If you look at just the thumbnail of the video, you see this huge shelf full of board games my brother has. I love board games. It was fun to talk about. I could go all day. We could just have a podcast about board games, honestly. Let's talk about that later. The mechanics thereof, the design, the art, the marketing, the Kickstarter campaigns, the revival of it due to Settlers of Catan. Like, it caused a whole wave of new board games. Blah, blah, blah. I love that stuff.
Well, now you have board game cafes. That's a thing now.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to someone's house tomorrow who owned one. I went there with
Really?
them, or when they owned. It was a bar / board game library. It was really great.
That's awesome.
And they're new in townish, and the COVID tanked their bar. That sucks. Anyway, then we had some. What is that? Animation was next. Talked about cartoons and movies.
Dude,
and just
that's another one. That's another one. We probably could go forever on that. We could probably do a series on cartoons, especially if we do a lot of pre-production, but we don't do as much as we could for Gorp because we want it to be very authentic. That's your vision, is for it to be authentic and fun and loose and kind of
it's nice not knowing where we're going.
Yeah, but if we had access to researching a lot of the topics before we went into it, man, what we could do with cartoon.
Maybe we do, we're talking about revisiting stuff. Maybe we do like a whole, like, let's say 4 episodes for one, like December is cartoon month. And we have like 4 episodes covering different chapters. Anyway, getting off topic here. That'd be fun if we really got to dig in. Yeah, cartoon. That's a whole episode. Oh my gosh. That whole that Space Ghost, like, paving the way for all these Adult Swims. It was Adult Swim before it was Adult Swim.
I think on that I said Space Ghost Coast to Coast was the best talk show of all time.
Yeah, we did say that episode, because I said it's Conan, that, and I forgot what the third one was. But definitely, Space Ghost was the best. It was the best. And it like I said, paved the way for... If it wasn't for Space Ghost, we wouldn't have Aqua Teen, we wouldn't have Toonami at all.
Hot take? Without Space Ghost, we wouldn't have Colbert. There would be no Colbert.
That's interesting.
Because Space Ghost style, if you go back and watch it, it was like harass the guests and tell jokes to the guests and have like the snappy quips with the producer. And I'm like, that's exactly what Colbert does now. Is he like he has the snappy quips and the weird questions to the guests. He's not like being playful with them. He's being like serious.
Yeah, and then going back to his before show, Colbert Report, where he was playing a character. Like, clearly, it was like intentional. Space Ghost was a character washed up in this case. So that was his whole thing. Man, I love Space Ghost. It's so good. I still go back and watch some episodes on YouTube. Oof. Where are we at on time? A few more? Okay. Get sprung for spring. Talked about spring break, like before we talked about the summer heat and all that stuff. Had a spring episode.
Yeah.
That was good.
That was an older episode, though, wasn't it?
That was 4 months ago. It was me, you, and Brooke. It was right after animation.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, that's the thing, too. Going back on these episodes, I'm surprised about a lot. Like, how many episodes Brooke's actually been in? Like, I had no idea. She's been in so many episodes. I mean, all the way back to Halloween. She's one of our more permanent players, and I just didn't really register that. And so many episodes I thought were older.
Yeah, and I think we would both love for Brooke to be permanent. I know she just uprooted her whole life, but God, I can't wait to have her back. She's so great.
Oh yeah, she's definitely the honey on this cactus. What does that even mean?
Weird
the
way
prickly
to phrase
pear
that.
And the bush. Also weird. Dang, it's getting worse.
Did it again.
Then we talked. Moving on. Then we talked about Dance, or not Dance Revolution. Talk about dancing, and the title was Dance, like no one's watching, and then keep dancing anyway. That was a fun episode. We talked about who's got the moves that you wish you could do, moves that are a bad idea, all kinds of stuff like that. And actually, since that episode, I've thought about that episode quite a bit, because I work at a bar, and the music is always playing. There's usually a pretty good playlist. And then every Tuesday, there's like Singo, where the music is playing very loudly, like bingo, but with songs. And I've just been dancing because of this episode.
Just while you're making pizza?
I'm pouring drink. No, I don't make the pizza. I pour the beer. But I'm pouring beer, serving beer, like dancing across the floor. I don't care anymore. I'm just shaking that butt, dude.
Getting into
Yeah.
it, feeling the vibe, letting it take
Yeah.
over your soul.
I'm tired of being embarrassed or
I
self-conscious.
love
I'm
it.
almost 40. I do what I want.
Do you feel almost 40?
No. Since I quit smoking, I feel 29. Honestly.
It's so weird. Like, I don't see an almost 40-year-old man when I look at myself. I don't. I
Oh no.
I look at that, and because my parents had me so young, I'm like, I picture like a grandpa at 40, and
Mm.
I know that's not the right thing to do, but
Hmm.
my mom had me at 18 years old, so my grandpa was probably in his 40s,
Yeah.
40s. So it's weird to be around that age now, and I remember making fun of my grandmother for turning 44. To be quite frank,
You know what sets the tone for me is watching old movies or shows. Like once in a while, like Friends will just pop up in my feed, a Friends episode, and like
yeah,
looking at Joey Tribbiani and like, oh, he's younger than me. That's weird.
that is weird.
Yeah. Or like
or
looking at sports athletes, like these NBA players are almost half my age now. That's weird.
You know what I just thought of, Josh, for sitcoms? I say we throw 10 sitcoms into a hat and we just talk about those sitcoms. Like, we take the time and we talk about those
Yes,
sitcoms.
that's correct. That's what we're gonna do.
All right.
Let's do that maybe next week. Who cares? But yeah, we do have season 2 coming up. We can take a new route, like focus real hard on laser focus year. This is our year of focus. That's stupid. Anyway, where were we at? Spring for String Dance. Oh, cover songs? No, it was actually just covers. That's right. Because we talked about
It
cover
was just
songs,
covers.
but we also talked about like blankets.
Yep.
And did we talk about hats as well?
Yeah.
Because like covers, So that was fun.
We talked about remakes. I know that. We talked about like remake movies
Yeah.
and remake TV shows. I think, isn't that the
was
one
good.
where you talked about the spin-off to Friends? You're like, yeah, and spin-offs, those are kind of covers. And you were like, they had that one with Joey. I can't remember what it's called. I was like, it was called Joey.
Joey. The original, it was called Joey with the girl from Sopranos. The whole thing was strange.
I think we talked about Frasier too, how Frasier was just a spin-off of Cheers.
And it was like probably the most successful spinoff of all time.
Yeah. It ran for like 15 seasons or something.
That dude is so stupid rich. I love what's his name? I forgot his real name. The actor, Kelsey Grammer. So Kelsey Grammer had a cameo in
Kelsey
30
Grammer.
Rock. 30 Rock, a fantastic show. Check it out. But he did a cameo on that where he was just being cool Kelsey Grammer, playing himself. And they did a theme song for him, like James Bond style. And the last line of it was, "He doesn't need to be doing this, Kelsey," because he's just so stinking rich.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he's so syndicated.
Tangent. Cover songs, cover blankets, all that stuff. Then we did some. Let's end on this one, I guess. Slang for one, slang for all. And that was a decent episode. This is the episode where you claimed that I was trying to brag about knowing slang terms, and it did make me feel old as well. By the way,
audience, can I address what you just said?
No, not allowed.
Hey,
let's move on.
I know you had an issue with how Josh and I talk to each other, but if you think that that's not the most real version of our relationship, you're wrong. That's literally the discussions we get into in real life. Like, whether it be a chat or whether it be over a drink, we will have those conversations all the time. Where he'll call me an arrogant jock or something, or a jackass, and I'll be like, you just make up like you know everything. It's exactly our relationship, how that went down in that show.
Yeah, absolutely. And mostly from my end, it gets much more brutal than that. We're fine. But the slang, it did make me feel old. That was
the least.
It did make me feel old. And we talked about like kicks, and I was like, oh yeah, I was trying to look like the cool manager just last week. Got caught slipping.
Now you're gonna have to say mollywop just to make up for it.
That was I think that was in the league of, oh, this is what the show's like. Like, this is a really good episode. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was fun. I think there was a lot. there was a lot more laughter on that show than people realized after the edit. Like, we were laughing at each other quite a bit.
Yeah. Oh man, there's so much. We can do another one of these eventually, because there's I think there's around 15 to 20 more episodes we've done, so that we almost covered the full 50. Sort of, we're
Wow.
past halfway. Well, we put in some work, dude. That's pretty cool. Good job, proud of you. Got a little show. Well, yeah, I mean,
Proud of
at the
you.
very least, we made a show, and it's a pretty good show. I'm having fun doing it. I hope to keep it up. And I hope you guys all tune in, tell your friends, force your mom to watch it, then give her a hug. Anyway, my name's
Season
Josh.
2.
This has been The Gorp. You can find us on The Gorp Show. It's on X to the Z, and we're on Threads as well. We're on the TikToks, Gorp Show, or the SadFan Podcast Network. Fry, sign us out, bro.
Yeah, we are on all the hotness. Everywhere you get your podcasts. We are at the Sad Fan Podcast Network. You can find Gorp Show. You can find Popcorn and Beers. You can find the Sad Fan. There will be more content coming soon. We love you all, and we will see you next week.
No way.